Hey guys, it is Friday, December 27th, 2024, and I'm back with some free VST plugins to help you with your musical adventures and endeavors. This is the second to last video for the month and also second to last video for the year. So let's finish strong. So this month, once again, is themed with free VST plugins that were released this year. Either they were released this year, they went totally free this year, or there was a major update this year. So free plugins, 100% free. All right, let's jump right into it. The free VST plugins for today are as follows: is Thing TH2. So I got a little rant to go on about this one. This is from Acoustica Audio. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with them because they make good stuff, but the CPU requirements, it's just really ridiculous on your CPU and your other computer resources when you try to use most of the Acoustica Audio plugin. You search across the net, you'll see people doing comparisons, and just like it's ridiculous when it comes down to how much computer resource it requires to run a lot of these plugins with Acoustica Audio, and then sometimes just the interface with their plugin installer and how it works to update and add new plugins, to download them, to install them. It is very cumbersome, very arduous, and just a bit too much sometimes. With a lot of the plugin installers, it tends to get like that, and that's why I don't like when software companies do it. Some of them do it well and it's decent, but it can get really confusing really fast with them making certain changes. So the reason why I'm saying that is with this one, it released earlier this week, I want to say, and I tried to download it and installed it. It installed, and every time I loaded it in my DAW, it would just crash. The DAW would crash every time without fail, no matter which, if it was on my desktop or if I was on my laptop, just crash without fail. So out of frustration, like a couple of days passed, I did a bit of research because I wanted to test it out before the live stream, before I present it on my live stream. And I did the research, and I had to go into some forums online to find out that the reason why it's crashing is because the plugin is not activated. And then someone in the thread basically said, don't install the plugin from the actual exe that you download from the website after going to the web page for the plugin. You have to actually go into their installer, which is called Aquarius, and then update it from there to your account and then install it from the Aquarius app. The problem with that is that when you go to the Aquarius app and you go to like the home page, the plugin shows up, but there's no way to install it on the interface in the app. So I had to do more research to find out that I have to hit the settings cog within the Aquarius app to then go to, like, I forgot what other, go into my settings and then go to I forgot what the option was, but I had to go to a specific option and then hit something there. And then once I hit something there, then it was telling me that I have to put in some kind of activation code. So I didn't realize that there was an activation code that was given to me when I went to the actual website for acoustical audio to get the plugin. There is nowhere on their site that they explain this in detail how to do it. They just literally say, they give you a download link right on the website. So I downloaded the exe, ran it, it installed. When I did a search in my DAW, it popped up, new plugin, and I thought everything was fine. No, you have to actually, like I said, open the Aquarius app. Most times when you open the Aquarius app, the only time I open it is to install, or maybe once in a while run an update, an Acoustica update. But most times I don't go in the Acoustica app. So whenever I load it up, it always has to run an update. After it runs the update, then I had to go to the home page. Then after I went to the home page, you got to go to the settings cog to go into settings, and then go to another section. I forgot what it was called, but I had to go in there, and then I forgot what I had to hit. And then when you hit that, then it asks you to put in the activation code for the plugin, which they gave you an activation code on the website when you signed up for the plugin. Very over the top, very arduous, but once you do all of that and you put in the activation code in the Aquarius app, then it's now added to your account, and you see it pop up the option to actually install it from the Aquarius app. So even though I already had it installed via the exe that I downloaded from the website, I had to run the install again from within the Aquarius app. It installed, and then it said activated. Then I was able to open the plugin, and I feel like this needs to be way easier and way more streamlined. If you guys have a plugin installer app, then it should be really straightforward and just like 1, 2, 3 to be able to pull up the app and install it from there. Or I think Native Instrument kind of does a little bit better, but sometimes their app is always behind with the update. So like with Contact 8, and I know I'm rambling, but just let me go. In Contact 8, when Contact 8 came out, I didn't get it until probably 6 weeks after it released, because it never showed up in the native, what is it called? Native Access, which is Native Instruments plugin installer. It never showed up, and no matter how much I ran the update and checking for new stuff, some of the stuff showed up, but not Contact 8. And then finally one week it just shows up, and then you can now run the update and install Contact 8. And it's just, I don't know why that happens. But when you go to the website, you hear everybody talking about Contact 8, all new features. You go to the website, it's splashed all over the website, the homepage, but you can't install it because you have to install it through the Native Access application, but the plugin is not showing up. And it's annoying. It's just very annoying. You run the update, you have the latest version of their app installer, and you just can't see it show up. And then one day it just shows up, and it's like, oh, I can get it now, 6 weeks later. So most times when I'm dealing with app VST plugin installers, the actual applications that you have to run to install the plugin, versus you just downloading the exe and running it yourself, it's always a nightmare. I had the similar issue with Labs. Labs did an update. I wasn't aware of the update, and it just broke the older version of Labs that had like the old interface, and I didn't know. And until weeks later, I figured out that they did this massive update. They changed a lot of the ways they're doing stuff. They added a monthly subscription for the paid stuff for Labs, and you had to update the installer. Then you had to run a whole new install of Labs. Luckily, it didn't change what I had installed. It picked up on what I had installed, and it just updated the interface and the new service and blah, blah, blah. But it's always just so unintuitive and over the top. I'm done rambling, guys. Sorry about that one. But so with this one, there was all this build up. So this is based off of a Juno, and they have the full version of this called Thing 8. This is essentially thing 2, which is a scaled down version of it. I didn't check out 8, so I don't know what I'm missing. I just like to get to the free stuff and see what they offer for free. I don't need to know what I'm missing. So with this one, it is not amazing. It's solid. The thing that I could say is it's actually not as CPU intensive as I thought it would be. Just poking around with it. There's some sense once I hold like a full chord, it just starts freaking out because it's doing too much and the system is just choking, which is a nightmare. So I thought that would have happened. I never got that when I was going through the presets. They have a decent amount of presets. They are categorized. The presets are not great. It is very bare bones. It is very raw, very dry. So it is emulating the device as if you literally had the physical device. That's what I'm imagining. There are no effects, which I don't have a problem with that because I'm used to like designing my sound and adding effects and, you know, building it out like that sometimes. But if you're looking for something that just has all the lushness and the vibe and the ear candy, this is not it. It's gonna sound very bland, very dry. Because of how I work with sound, I hear the potential in the sound, but it has good like that digital, this type of keyboard sound, that Juno sound, it does have that. So if you're looking for those Juno basses, it's there. Definitely the synthwave type stuff, it is there. But a lot of the sounds, majority of the sounds are not gonna be that inspiring to the average producer who's not into really tweaking and dialing in their sound themselves. It's not ready to go. Most of the sounds are not ready to go. You're gonna have to add some delay, some reverb, maybe some chorus, flanging, a phaser, filters, all that stuff to kind of get the sound to the vibe that you want. So this is a solid plugin. It's just not something you just grab if you're looking for inspiration. This is when you're looking to add something and you kind of know what you're going for and you're willing to sit down and dial it in and tweak and add your own effects to it. There are no effects built in that I could find. I poked around. The interface is pretty much what you see here. One thing I didn't like was I felt like all the presets were a little quiet, but you just turn up this output knob right here and it gets louder. It's fine. And I also would like to, and I know they're probably not going to do that, I was searching to see if there was a polyphony section for me to change the polyphony, because some sounds I heard the polyphony was like 1, and I was like, oh, I would like the sound to be able to have a polyphony of 8 or more so I can hold some chords, but I couldn't find anywhere when I searched where I could switch the polyphony. But there is a polyphony switch because some sounds were polyphonic and some were monophonic. So it'd be cool if there was a polyphony switch, but I guess that would be on the full version, Thing 8 or TH8, maybe it's called. So that's a lot. That was a mouthful about this one, but I had to kind of rant for a second. Sorry guys, moving right along. This is Mac and PC compatible, by the way. Moving right along, we have playtime from the developer Cradle. So the good thing about this is this developer has been making different, I guess you'd say, instruments for this player called State Machine. So this is the second free one that I know of. There is another one. Let me jump to it real quick. Products, Machine BitFlip, State Machine BitFlip. So this is the first one that I saw from them. I never tested this one out, but this is pretty much 8-bit sounds. Your NES, Super NES, Sega Genesis, back in the day, 8-bit video game type sounds, 16-bit, 8-bit. So if you're looking for those type of sounds, they also have this free one that is for the State Machine ecosystem. So it's cool to see that they are utilizing and adding more to the ecosystem called State Machine. And this newest addition to it is Playtime, which the sounds are pretty decent. Nice textured sounds. There were a couple of sounds that were cool for like a main sound in your musical motif, but there's a lot of supporting sounds. Some of it is very genre specific, but it's all usable in the right context. Good sounds, nice inspirational sounds, really distinct interface, pretty straightforward. And you see the controls here: equal, EQ, bit crusher, delay, bad speaker, reverb. So you kind of get the vibe of where this is going. Scale, chords, arpeggiator. So it has arpeggiation, all that good stuff. They have presets. I don't remember how many presets this has, but definitely check it out. I really did not download this one myself. I was just watching some videos on it, and somebody was kind of demoing the sounds, and pretty decent sounds. So definitely check this one out. It is PC and Mac compatible. Should have all the latest protocols with VST3, AU, all that good stuff. So definitely check that one out. Last up for today, we have Shape It, which is one of my favorites for the year. So it should be on my list tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be doing my list of favorites of the year that came out this year, 2024. Shape It is definitely going to be on that list. This is an EQ, so pretty straightforward parametric EQ. We got the graphic display here to show you the waveform. The cool thing about this one for me was that I noticed that my go-to EQ that I was using before, it's a little bit more CPU intensive than I would like it to be. And I use, in a mixing situation, I'm gonna use a decent amount of EQs a lot of times to roll off low end, shape and carve out some sounds while I'm just building, constructing a song, building a beat, designing, crafting the different sounds and putting them in their frequency space. So you tend to pull up plugins really quick, EQs I should say, really quickly, to the point where I have my EQ set to a keyboard shortcut where I just hit 2 keys and it just pops up on the track that's highlighted. And then I can start dialing in, rolling stuff off, all that good stuff. So I tend to pull them up real quickly and a lot, and after a while my system will start moaning and complaining, start making little weird sounds. Then I gotta quickly make decisions of I turn this off, or let's print this to audio so that I can free up some resources, which is annoying sometimes when you're in the mode of creating and just being creative and vibing. You don't want to be pulled out of that flow state. So with this one, I noticed I started using this instead as my go-to EQ for just all the basic cleanup stuff, carving out, and it actually performs way better as far as CPU usage. Very evident. As soon as I replace my other one with these, the session is fine. So going forward, I will be utilizing this as my go-to everyday EQ, and that's one of the reasons why I like it. There's nothing really special about it. It has a resizable interface. There's some presets which I don't care about, but the fact that it has a spectrum analyzer and you get, I think they said 10 bands of EQ. Let's double check. Yes, 10 bands of EQ, which is more than enough. It's not dynamic, which would be cool, but it's not. But I actually can make it dynamic in my DAW. It's easy to do that, so it's not really a problem. But I have dynamic EQs if I need a dynamic EQ, so there's no need for that. And it does not do mid-side, which it's not a big deal. I have other mid-side EQs, but otherwise it's very functional. The user interface is a pleasure to use, very intuitive, very smooth. Just everything is right where you need it to be. The color coding on the sections of the bands is always a good visual thing to kind of keep you organized and just keep your eyes focused in the right direction. But yeah, very intuitive. Using it just felt natural, like getting into a car that feels familiar, where the controls are kind of like where you need it to be. That's what it felt like. So this is why I like this one for this year. This came out this year from the developer Soundly. So this is Shape It from the developer Soundly. It is Mac and PC compatible, 100% free. So definitely check out the link in the description, guys. It'll take you to this blog page where you can click on the download link to take you to the corresponding areas for the plugins that you're looking at. And also right here, I have my social media link, so you can get to all my socials from this link also, if you desire. That's also in the link in the description, the link to my socials. There's also a link in the description for a video series that I did called PC Specs and how it relates to music production. So if you're looking to understand how your DAW works along with the internal parts of your computer to help you produce music smoothly, help you carry out all the different functions that you need to for your music production workflow and workload smoothly and effectively, that video series will help you understand how everything works, how the power that you have or don't have is affecting your DAW to help you do what you need to do. So if you need to understand how that works, you need to upgrade your system, get a new rig, get a portable rig, and you want to make sure that you get something that's going to perform, definitely check out that video series. It would help you understand what specs you need to look at and where you need to direct your money as far as what parts are important. What's more important? RAM. Why is hard drive space important? What type of CPU you need, how many cores, what type of cores, what is tensor cores, all that good stuff. It kind of gets you in the ballpark of understanding what it all means so you can make a more informed decision with your purchase. There is also a link in the description for a growing playlist for all these videos that I do twice a week right now. I'm trying to wrap that up for the new year. Last week I did 3, this week I'm doing 3. And hopefully soon I can do more, but at least twice a week we do these videos. So if you're looking for more free VST plugins, there is a growing playlist. This video will be added to that playlist once the live stream is done. It is a growing playlist of videos. So if you're looking for more free VST plugins, that playlist has you covered. All right, guys, I'll be back tomorrow to wrap up the month and the year of 2024 with the last live stream for the year, wrapping up the free plugins that was released this year, and also I'll talk about my top something list. It might be top 5, it might be top 10. We'll see what it ends up being. I will finalize that tonight. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Well, I won't see you. You will see me in the next video. All right, guys.